As you lot know, people, Mr. Roy Keane criticised Arsenal for going down to 10 men against Manchester City and said brave performances or performances with 10 men have been done before. In this life, stay humble because your beloved Manchester United went down to 10 men against Tottenham Hotspur. Now, I don't want to praise Spurs for winning. They did everything. And I'd say the most damning thing with Tottenham Hotspur, take nothing away, putting a neutral cap on, take nothing away from Spurs. They didn't have to get out of second gear. They looked like a team that knew exactly what they wanted to do. They're passing it, popping it round the corner, scoring goals. And to be honest with you, Manchester United fans should be praising Spurs really and truly, because if they had more clinical players, it wouldn't have been 3-0. 3-0 somewhat flatters Manchester United, if I'm honest. It should have been 7-8-9. Solanke should have had a hat trick. Brendan Johnson could have had a couple. Boy, Van der Ven dribbling and whatnot. I ain't seen Rashford or any of them man do any of that. In this life, stay humble, because if you wanted to see what to do and what not to do, there you have it with Roy Keane. Roy Keane, a legendary footballer. As a manager, you've seen his track record. Gary Neville, the same. This is why, thank the Lord, Mikel Arteta doesn't care or listen to you. It's almost like Eric Ten Hag listened to you, and then what happened? Eric Ten Hag said all errors come to an end. He must have been talking about Manchester United. With a Manchester United win, lose, or draw, this is exactly how they play. They can't attack, or they don't attack to their full capabilities for their great attackers that they've got collectively. The midfield's shambolic. Ogate's a pussycat. Casemiro's doing whatever. Young Kobe Mano looks disillusioned. Defense is horrible. I'm seeing the butcher Lisandro Martinez continuously get butchered. Onana can pass the ball, but his defense in front of him is crap. Bad habits, terrible habits. You're not seeing any Ajax football. The man has won 2 trophies at Manchester United, Ten Hag, so big him up for that. But there's no style of play. There's no ethos. People criticize my football club and say we're a defensive team, we're this, that, the third. All right, cool, we'll hold that. I therefore don't want to be what Manchester United do. But if we are a defensive side, obviously Mikel Arteta and the coaching staff have been able to put an identity. What is Manchester United's identity? It's crazy. It's absolute shenanigans. And, Sky Sports robbed us, because we should be seeing Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes probably too busy biting his daughter's toenails to even watch the game, seeing that performance and telling us exactly how they feel. Absolute shambolic performance. What I would say is big up the real Manchester United fans that live in, up north and whatnot. But some of you in London, you lot twerk for City and you twerk for Spurs. So in many ways, you won. Now, for me, I think you should keep to Eric Ten Hag. Trust the process. He's doing what he's doing. But hold that, Roy Keane. I don't even think the Bruno thing was a red card. But in today's day and age, it's given. And Arsenal, we're told to shut up and carry on with it. So you lot hold that, carry on with that. Roy Keane, I need you to come out of hiding, because you have a lot to say. What happened to your team? The butcher got butchered. The fullbacks are disillusioned. The defense is shambolic. The midfield is shambolic. All that money spent, and there is not a significant uptake in performance. Me personally, I think they should stick with Ten Hag. I think they should trust the process. Whatever you say about him, I don't believe that the trophies have papered over the cracks. 2 trophies in what 2 or so years. That tells you something special is building. I think they should keep him. Manchester United are about to enter a scary period, and I think Manchester City and Liverpool are shaking in their absolute boots. And I think the most damning thing of this big club and magical club, which is Manchester United, is whether they win, lose, or draw, there's elements that you saw against Spurs that you see week in, week out, that you'll see again and again. United fans have to become accustomed to that. I still think they could get top 4, but they're shambolic. Chelsea are getting their act together. Spurs, Postecoglou ain't been there 2 minutes, already got an identity. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Eric Ten Hag took over before Unai Emery. Unai Emery is doing what he needs to do at Aston Villa. There's teams that will finish below Manchester United. Ipswich probably will go down. They've got an identity. Even Russell Martin at Southampton, they've got an identity. Manchester United have no identity. You can hide behind we're Manchester United, big club, all this stuff. Specific to what fans see on the football pitch, horrible. And big up United. I don't care though. I just want Roy Keane's blood from a footballing perspective, because you got a lot to say on my club. What happened yesterday? Stay humble. I am so happy, that Ten Hag seemed to have listened to you and you saw exactly what happened. And I'm happy if you've ever wanted to see how to play with 10 men and how to play with and how not to play, just look at how Arteta went about it and look at what Roy Keane said. And you know what the saddest thing is with Manchester United? How you gone 10 men down? A man down, sorry, definitely not 10. And now you're starting to attack, but you're toothless. You didn't even huff and puff. You literally just got into the final third. We knew there would be goals in the game. Both teams at times can be got at on the transition or the counter attack. Take nothing away from Van der Ven. That's a fantastic run. Midfielders and strikers and more attacking players would have been, proud of what he did. And, big up Brendan Johnson, because I do believe in positive criticisms, but we all know the social media thing is ridiculous, right? He got another goal, but it's one of them where the assist is everything. How long did it take a Manchester United player continuously throughout those 90 minutes to get anywhere near a Spurs player? And I don't want to do what English fans do and talk about desire and whatnot, but there is none. There's no competencies tactically. Players can't get close to any of the Spurs shirts. They can't defend. They can't attack. Whatever way you want to go about football, you need to keep balls at the back of yours. You need to put balls in the opposition's goal. Didn't do that. Easiest game Vicario will have, really and truly. Can't remember a save he made, really and truly. And it was just summed up by individual mistakes, terrible tactics. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, people. And I must admit, I am enjoying watching the United fan channels and whatnot, because the Manchester United fans I know, they do a lot of this. They've got a lot of talking, but you see, when their teams lose, they go into hiding, much like Roy Keane, much like Gary Neville, who's boys. You would think Gary Neville would be a lot more humble now with his record as a manager as well. You know, I'm tired of the Manchester United fan, ex pundits in the media, because they just talk a lot of nonsense. You wouldn't think they played under Sir Alex Ferguson. You wouldn't think they've won what they've won, and hold that. You know, Arsenal will definitely catch L's this season. There'll definitely be highs and lows, but there's a lot to say on my club. You got to watch your own rice cooking. When you're watching what other people are doing in their kitchen, your food's going to burn. So long may it continue. Again, Manchester United, big club. To the neutral, you know, humble United fans, my heart goes out to you. But you see the fans I know and the ones in the media, boy, forget all of that. You deserve all of this, people. You know, you twerk for City, twerk for Spurs. There's not empty barrels make the most noise. And, you know, you could argue if Spurs had better players, like a better quality of players, especially in attacking ranks, they're convincingly finishing ahead of you. All United could do is go on. In an ideal world, Arsenal beat PSG, and I believe Manchester United have Porto. I hope Porto do something. I'm so sure they've got to go and play in Turkey in the Europa League against Fenerbahce with Jose Mourinho. I know the the real villain, the real Thanos, Jose Mourinho, has something for us. And long may it continue. And I'll say the saddest thing for Man United fans is they're accustomed to that. So it is what it is. I just want to know, Roy Keane, is that how you're supposed to play with 10 men? You said it's been done before. Fair enough, fella. Fair enough. Fair enough. Conceding, 30 seconds or so into that second half. Conceding 2-3 minutes into the first half. And again, you're lucky Spurs weren't clinical. Take nothing away from Spurs. They were great. Everything happened for them. They would come away to Old Trafford, which is no longer a fortress, got the 3 points, kept it moving. But the best thing I could say to Spurs is didn't have to get their shirts dirty. Didn't have to get their shirts dirty, just did the competent things. You saw a team that knew exactly what they had to go out there and do. You see a team that clearly do things on a training ground. I'm sure Ten Hag does, but boy, you couldn't string 5 passes together, can't build out from the back. It's absolutely shambolic. So I'd love to know what Roy Keane has to say now. And on that note, people, let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.